Hello there, and welcome to the much delayed commentary for Seymour Connor's Modern Super Spy 2. This is obviously the second instalment in the Seymour Connor's Modern Super Spy franchise. It was made for my college final major project, for my first year as a creative media student. So that was quite an interesting experience, making it for something other than for YouTube. You know, for making it for to be graded. But I suppose it worked out in the end because I got distinction for this project. Sadly, I didn't finish it all in time. I got the first 18 minutes done for college, and then throughout the rest of 2024, I made the rest of the film very, very slowly. Because I suppose this project was marked by a lot of procrastination, even during the college part. You know, I could have easily gotten it all done in time for college, but I really put it off for the first couple weeks of the project. You know, I had like 10, 12, no more than 12 weeks to complete this film, from script to final edit for college. But I didn't start animating until I was a few weeks in.
I haven't told them anything.
Because I was lazy. Because I suppose the last like 3 projects I tried all failed. You know, it's Dragon Legends, which part of exists on my channel. There was a Halloween video which wasn't fun, and I didn't finish. And then I was right before this, I was remaking Squad 66, which is my original movie from 2020. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a good version of this, which I've been thinking about for years. But then this came along, so that's been cancelled because I'm not making it at this point. Because I'm slowly getting towards my wit's end with
I think I'm done for now.
stop motions. But I'm making another one at the moment, so don't worry, my fans. Anyway, this film is heavily inspired, or I guess heavily parodies Mission Impossible, as you can see just then with the mask. And now the music it's playing, there's a little bit from the Squad 66 remake there as well, the Battle Droids. Wanted to include that because I like that shot. Yeah, obviously this is more so a Mission Impossible parody, with keeping the James Bond elements from the first film. Obviously, because, you know, it's primarily a James Bond. So I guess actually does both, because you got the music, you got the masks, you got the Jeremy J. Jackson, the third character, meant to be like Luther from Mission Impossible, but in this one you get Mr. Alonso Hollywood, which is like Q. You get Felix Felixson, which is Felix Leiter. And you keep the gun barrel, and M, obviously. And Seymour is primarily a Bond parody. You know, he's not really much like Ethan Hunt at all. He's not like James Bond really, but he's, you know, but that's what he's meant to be. The guy who voices Mr. Alonso Hollywood is called Derry. He was in my my class during the creation of this film. He was the only one who offered to do any voice lines, and I think his voice suited the character quite well, in the politest way possible, seeing as you could just see, Alonso Hollywood is an old man, and yeah, Derry is I think an 18-year-old ginger lad. So my original hope was that every single main character, so every character you see in the opening credits just a moment ago, would have a different voice actor. However, that did not quite work out. So I think I end up voicing Seymour, Ed, and Jeremy. I was always going to end up voicing Ed, but originally my friend Logan from college was going to voice Jeremy, but he sort of was out in the end, so I had to quickly do those lines. I did them very quickly, which is why the voice maybe isn't as much as I isn't as consistent as I would have liked. And but to be fair, Seymour's voice is very inconsistent, I feel. So you know, I'm not a professional voice actor, but here's the main like cue scene. You know, this is where you're like, yeah, this is cute. You know, it's got like a device which is conveniently used at some point in the middle point of the movie, and a gun that only runs out when the plot demands it, so there's a reason for the big fight scene that happens later on, and then it starts working again after that, and then he just ignores it, which is a genuine plot hole that I didn't realise until after it was done, and I couldn't be bothered to change it at that point. I don't want any judgment from that. When you make a movie for 9 months that you've wanted to quit every step of the way, then you can then you'd understand. No, I suppose I didn't want to quit. It's just like, it's very hard for me. It always has been to find the motivation to make these films, because I try to be relatively ambitious, especially with how long the films are. This is a 30-minute stop motion. This was 13,000 frames, and I could have done it in 10 weeks, but I was lazy. It's my own fault. But still, 13,000 pictures is a lot either way. And on top of that, I wrote and edited it and voiced it. So it's a lot, but it was fun. Here we have the Mooseman cameo. I like to give Mooseman cameos, or will, going forward. I guess. I think did he have? I suppose he's one of the few who's still voicing characters, but I think before this, the last time must have been Spider-Man. I think. So it was nice. I don't know. I just thought I'd give Mooseman a cameo. I didn't really realise when I was giving him, it was like, it's literally, that's like his sig fig, his avatar, whatever you want to call it. And but Seymour and Jeremy essentially called him a moron in the scene. So I didn't mean it. And I don't mean to call you a moron, Mooseman. I didn't think about that at all. I just wanted to give you a cameo. So I'm sorry. But yeah, the name Jerry J. Jackson III comes from when me and my friend Logan, who was meant to voice him, one day in college we did literally no work. We were playing this like crappy browser game called like Arctic 800 or something like that, where you just venture through the Arctic and fight demons looking for your father or something like that. It's actually quite fun. And we decided to call the character Jerry J. Jackson III. And so that stuck when I was like, okay, I need a name for this character. I was like, okay, here we go, Jerry J. Jackson III, that's a perfect name. And the amount of times I've had to tell people the like proper way to say his name because they always forget one of the names, which is understandable. But it's funny. This fight scene was, I guess, the first like fist fight I tried at 15 FPS. The film's at 15 FPS, by the way. The first time I really tried anything like this. It's quite short, but I'm happy with it, especially for first attempt. And here we have Ethan playing Felix Felixson. Felix Leiter, but not. Very much not. That's what they discover. I was on the fence about Felix Felixson being a twist villain. Part of me likes it, but then part of me would have liked him to, be like a recurring character like Felix Leiter does. Felix Leiter's in 007. We have Felix Felixson in 0069, which I don't think they call him in this film, but I'm rambling. I thought it'd be cool because I'm making Seymour Connors 3 at the moment, and I have ideas for at least Seymour Connors 4, if not 5 as well. So bloody franchise is never going to win. But I've sort of got a replacement who's introduced in Seymour Connors 3, which if you watch it you'll see, who I think will reappear in future installments of the franchise. This scene, I sort of came up with the voice. I come up with a lot of stuff on the spot. This voice, I was very mixed on it because at the same time, he's this guy with the white hair is like a sort of dubious character. He works for Clive Henry, the villain, but he's meant to be sort of like a proper underling. He's meant to be like not like he's like he says like Clive Henry doesn't bloody care about him. He's sort of meant to be a bit pathetic, and I was mixed on the voice. I kept it because pressed for time and I'm lazy, like we've established. But I kind of liked it, but at the same time maybe it was a bit, I don't know, it's very like silky sort of. if that makes any sense.
Oh,
Um,
sorry.
but yeah, I thought it was alright. I think it sort of suits the character. But I don't know, I'm mixed on it. I don't know, no one's ever said anything about it, so I just guess it's fine. Ethan's performance is really good in the film. I think he's got one of the standout performances. Him and Clive Henry, voiced by my other friend from college, Samson.
I don't know.
Well, at the time, other friend. I've got more now, guys. Don't worry.
Really?
Ethan and Samson are definitely the two highlights, voice actor wise. And that kill scene was very. I was like, okay, I want to have like a random bit of gore because I don't like I don't like doing the clay blood anyway because it ruins the minifigures and the bricks. Or it's very hard to get the blood off, clay off. But I was like, I want to. Okay, let's just do this out of nowhere, just very sudden. And I like the way it looks. It splatters. Because Seymour Connor's meant to be sort of very cartoony, and I think that suits it. Without, I still think not having the blood suits it, but then a sudden like wham of blood pouring out this guy's head. It's been shot point blank in the head. I think it suits it. These phone call scenes, there's a few of them throughout the film, were quite interesting. What I did was I animated. I can't remember if it was all in one day, probably a couple of days. I animated all the scenes in Jeremy's office, so his introduction scene and then all these phone call scenes. I animated all of them, and then I put them at the end of I used Stop Motion Studio to put all the frames together. I put them all the way at the end of the timeline, and then as I animate like this scene, for example, like Seymour's end of the scene, I would go back and add those Jeremy's parts in, like in the middle, which make editing the voice lines in easier but yeah, it would be a bit tricky to find out which ones are the right ones and where does it end and stuff. You know, scrolling through thousands of pictures going left and right. I guess that was technically the first action scene I filmed for the film. It's a very short action scene, but it sort of gave me a little bit of practice with like the momentum and the things. I animated that with sort of a fist fight between Seymour and Felix. That happened like a couple minutes ago, and I was very happy with a lot of these frames, like where he picks the guy up and takes a picture and drops him in the leg and how that all looks. I was really happy with. I'm still happy with a lot of how that looks. And this bit as well, again, did the same thing as before, but I was like, alright, Felix is just sort of standing in the background. Let's give him some, he's sort of like, he's looking around like, what can I do? It's a bit awkward, and he's like, it's like, like what, what's he gonna do? Just trying to like pass the time while Seymour talks to this random guy he doesn't know. And I think the next one is like where he pulls out his weapon. He's like kind of playing with it, and then he points at Seymour. That's meant to like hint at the fact that Felix will of course betray Seymour in the end, where he actually fake shoots and he has to quickly move it out of the way. So that was quite a fun bit to animate. And this next bit I liked as a mission prepare scene. This was quite a fun set to build. The sets in this film, because obviously my room's always grey, and I think this is the first time I did these like highlights with the light grey, which I think add a lot, and I try to do different patterns with each room, which I have a limited amount of bricks, which is why I only use grey. And there's a nice window there, isn't there? You can see the table where I should have put a green or grey base plate on the floor. That's fine. I didn't notice until then, so none of you know. I hope none of you noticed. But a lot of the sets in this film are quite fun to build because I really wanted to have a lot of detail, a lot of clutter, I guess. In a way, I know because the problem is you can't see a lot of it with the way I film it and the way I've placed the things around. But the sets were very fun to build, very fun to decorate. It's just building grey walls, but then very fun to add the furniture. And this montage as well is very cool. It really, I was struggling to think of what to add to fill the music. So that's why you have Felix pouring a drink, and I completely forgot the design of the device, but it works still. you know, because it's been a few months. No, is it? A few weeks at this point between the scene in Alonzo Hollywood's office and that scene. And when I went back to look at the other scene, just double check after I'd animated, of course, I was like, oh no, it's wrong. But
Evening, lads.
it still works. You just said the top stud in the office was the wrong. It's like a charging point. That's my headcanon. My headcanon for my film. Samson, who voices Clive Henry, voiced this guy. I thought it'd be funny, and also to have a bit more variety than just me voicing every extra character. And I think he did a great job with like the sure thing chicken wing line. You know, I don't really maybe it's weird. I don't really laugh at a lot of jokes in these two films, but that one bit where he smacks his bum, I don't know why. I just thought it was really funny and stupid. The films are stupid though in general. This is very experimental for me, animation, because it looks quite funky because well, not this, but that looks funky anyway. But where I think the wall is moving, Seymour's staying in place. The wall is moving behind him, and he's just like moving his head and his arms. And I don't know if clue what's happening there. I always look rubbish, but I'm so pressed for time. Like, this is like final week before project deadline. Everything up until when he gets knocked out is. So I
That was a lot of stairs.
I was really pressed for time. Wasn't redoing anything. I don't redo any. I don't redo scenes anyway unless they're extra terrible. So
Oh no.
which that bit was. I think on that bit where like the camera's slow moving, it's really blurry. It's just move. The base plate's moving as normal, but he's
If only I had a device
like it's like moving.
designed for
The base plate's been moved, but Seymour's also moving
Oh wait.
as he would normally. So it's quite interesting
No, thank
to
goodness,
experiment with.
because I am
And of
no
course that's where the
universal
because I was thinking
this
while writing the script, I was thinking
Well, I'd be willing to bet the only
I want, you know, like James Bond movies,
Clive Henry.
at least up to a point,
That yes,
probably pre Daniel Craig at least. Almost all, I you know, I can't remember the specifics. Most James Bond movies have had like a device used at a very specific point in the film to get Bond out of a bad predicament. And so I was like, okay,
Where am I?
well, how? First of all, I had to think, what would the device be, and how can that be used later in the film?
Clive Henry.
And so naturally, I just make it a thing that deactivates any system basically, and have security systems in place that he has to deactivate. So it's really pushing the extremes of parody, I feel, but I don't know, I got away with it, I feel. And now everything from this scene onwards, except for the final scene in N's office, because those are the first scenes I filmed. These were made just for YouTube, not for college. So I've submitted my college project at this point. And yeah, I was like, okay, let's aim for June. It's May at this point. And then the film came out in December. So you know, I was close to the schedule, we'll say. Only 6 months off. But yeah, this is where the film, I really lost momentum and motivation with the film. From you know, I'm not making it for college. You know, at this point I've accepted the fate of my YouTube channel to be unsuccessful. Because, like, you know, I still get very happy getting 100 views a video. I get very, really happy. I still, you know, I mean, it's very different to 100 views, but I still watch my Lego Spider-Man view count go up. It's at like something stupid. I can't remember how many, but it's at something stupid at this point. And I'm very glad that's the video to be so successful. And even this video got a few hundred views. That's incredible. But oh, the shelf's moving that scene. Bloody hell, didn't even notice that. But you know, so I lost a lot of motivation to make it, because that's still so much to go. You know, this fight scene, the big one take fight scene, and the Clive Henry fight scene. But this fight scene was very fun to do. I really, you know, it's not really a fight scene. It's just like this Francis guy beating up Seymour just for like a minute or two straight. And there's a little bit, you know, a little bit here, but you know. But it pushes him into the shelf. But really, look, he's like getting thrown around, he's getting shelves thrown at him, and tables and lamps, and getting chucked across the room. And it's just ridiculous, so cartoony, so over exaggerated. I really enjoyed making it and editing it and watching it, and right now I'm actually quite enjoying this. But so yeah, this probably is my favourite fight scene of the movie, actually, because there's four proper fight scenes, and this is probably my favourite one, even though it took probably the second least amount of time to make. But yeah, I really enjoyed making it and watching it and editing. It's fun. You can see I'm getting a bit better at the camera movements for this bit, but of course they're much shorter, because again at this point I'm really losing that motivation to continue. And you can see maybe some small inconsistencies with like the stairs there and stuff. I tried my best, but some parts just because I had to rebuild, I have to take them down, I didn't have time to make that bloody, or, I don't have time to do scenes that weren't needed for the college project, because, again, I had like less than a week left. Bearing in mind at this point, I'm in level 1 of college, I'm in level 2 at this point, almost at the end of level 2. In level 1, I was only in 3 days a week. But I mean, to be fair, I was editing it at home, so, that doesn't really matter. But, I think I really put it off. No, that's what I did, actually. I know this commentary's been very rambly, because I'm just suddenly thinking of things constantly. I've been planning this in my head for 5 months to do this commentary. I don't know why I'm such a scatty mess with it, but I digress. I put it off until Thursday of the final week, and so I stay up all night filming the last few scenes of the like everything up until he gets knocked out. I animated and I built the sets for, including this set that Seymour's in now, in that one night. I started at like 10 p.m. and I think I finished at 5 a.m. and I get up at 7 a.m. so I was like, right, there's no point going to sleep. So I did an all-nighter and I edited throughout the whole day and did my evaluation and everything else I had to do before the end of the year. And it was a very hectic night and following day. Very hectic, very hectic day, night, day. So, yeah, it's quite crazy. And now we come to this. This was the big scene of the film for me, one take fight scene with an AI song over it. I was thinking, I spent a while looking for trying to think of songs to use for this scene. Like the way this song sounds is the exact sound I wanted for this scene, and so I was thinking the song I was thinking of actually was "Back for Good" by Take That, which I don't know, would have been interesting, but and look at it, the bloody fight scene's already halfway over. This took me weeks. This took me months probably. No, I was only doing it on the weekends first, so actual time animating was much less than weeks or months. But yeah, my friend Logan again. He would have done a lot for this film if he did the voice acting. But there's this program called Suno AI. And I don't like AI at all, so it's very bad that I use this. But he just put in like make a song about Seymour Connors, and like I told him make like a slow song, whatever I told him. You can put like what type of song you put, and I said that. He put the star and just said make a song about Seymour Connors, the world's greatest super spy, or something like that. And he made that song, Undercover Love, and I used it because it's a really stupid. It's an AI song. It's quite good actually, but I like it. I know the lyrics. I'm not going to sing them, but I know the lyrics. So I listened to it. I had to listen to it because I was editing with it. And the whole thing of Seymour just like, I reckon I need a nap after that. And genuinely falling asleep after beating up like... And it's very fortunate that none of them woke up now that I think about it. But I was like, okay, we need to add some tension, it needs to be up against the wall, like there's not much time before Clive Henry's plan is completed. And Clive Henry's plan I just thought of on the spot. Following the first film, where Todd Cranes wanted to make it so no one could ever have a cold pillow ever again. Which I don't know how that would happen, but somehow that would happen. Something had to be ridiculous. So originally it was in the script. It was like, you know, everyone will look like Clive Henry, and they will also think and act like Clive Henry. But Samson, my friend, when he was in the exposition scene where Clive Henry explains his evil plan, he misspoke and said, they won't look like me. No. He said they won't talk or act like me or anything, but they will look like me. So basically, he just wants everyone to look like him. And I think that's so much funnier than what I wrote. So I'm very glad he misspoke and I didn't notice it. Because in the moment I would have told him to change it. But, so yeah, I'm really glad with that. I don't think he's as good a villain as Todd Cranes, as great as Samson is. I'd say performance-wise they're about equal, you know, Ethan in the first film and Clive Henry now. Samson as Clive Henry. But, you know, I think Todd Cranes is a better character, really. Now this fight scene was it's funny, I barely spoke about the other fight scene. This was the one take fight scene was the last one I filmed because it was the big one. You know, it took the longest. It was the most difficult. Sorry, but obviously this is the final fight scene of the movie, and I practiced a lot with this one with like camera movements. I didn't want it to be one take because I knew the other one would be one take, but I wanted it to have a lot of cuts, but still have a decent amount of cuts, but still have like a lot of moving camera. Which I think worked out quite well, and added a lot of tension to the fight scene. Because my fight scenes aren't the greatest animated, so I think the camera movements really added a lot. I like this bit where he gets revenge for like what Francis did to Seymour. He slams him on the ground now. Now Seymour does it to Clive Henry. And yeah, I thought the decision not to kill Clive Henry sort of came from the fact that before the big fight scene, he tried to his gun would stop working, and then I forgot that literally just before the fight scene he killed like 2 of Clive Henry's goons, and now the gun's not working again. So maybe Clive Henry will return. I don't know. Yeah, the reason he survived wasn't because I wanted to keep him alive necessarily. It's because the gun was meant to have stopped working. But I think it's quite nice to have kept him alive. Bit different to Todd Cranes, but maybe Todd Cranes alive. Who knows? My friend Logan, who is a big fan of the Seymour Connors franchise, thinks that Todd Cranes is alive, and that all the villains should return. So maybe I'll do that at some point in the big finale. But and this final fight scene was like a callback. Not fight scene. This final scene was just meant to be like a callback to the start of the film with the masks. Bring it back with Mission Impossible, the music in the background. And it's had to wrap up the Felixson storyline. So Felix Felixson is dead. Clive Henry is not. But and yeah, using the Mission Impossible music. This all the music, minus the like suiting up montage before they infiltrate Clive Henry's base, is from Fallout. Mission Impossible. You can see that Mission Impossible Fallout. I forgot. I should have credited Michael Giacchino with the Mission Impossible 3 music I used during that other montage. But and I thought doing like because especially I think from Ghost Protocol onwards they do like either opening credits or end credits where they show off the some of the scenes from the characters with their you know, with the actor credit, and I thought that'd be fun to do. I did it in the opening credits and the final credits, which to be fair I think Fallout did sort of, but which is my favourite Mission Impossible. So and also this was very fun. This like with the studio credits, I guess, because Wow Watermelon Studios is such a real studio. I thought it was fun to build it up with the 4 fight scenes, you know, the 4 credits, which existed anyway, of the 4 different fight scenes. I thought that was fun. And it doesn't line up perfectly because then there's that gap of black darkness, and then it holds on the title credit for way too long. But yeah, I suppose that's I should have. I always forget to like write down notes or anything because I should write down notes because I feel like I've just rambled for half an hour about this movie, but yeah, overall I'm very happy to have made. Oh, there we go. This my other AI song. I wrote this song that you're hearing in the background now. Logan Williams, just told the program to make it. And those top two names in the special thanks are my two tutors who helped with aspects of the film as well. So I had to give them a big shout out. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm very happy to have made this film, which will finally release as it has. And I'm running out of time. And to finally be doing this commentary. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the film if you watched it. I hope you watched the film if you watched this video. And yeah, Seymour Connor's Modern Super Spy 3. It won't be called that, but it's on the way. So subscribe so you can see it when it comes out. Okay, bye.